Before we begin, please answer in the comments section. Do you usually undergo various tests and consult several specialist doctors? If you or someone close to you does this, then you need to hear what I have to say. And if it's not you, forward the video to that person who is undergoing some test or scheduling an appointment every week. The food chain in the healthcare market is a concept that was explored by Jose Agostinho Santos, a very Catholic name, by the way. Amen. In the article, The Food Chain in the Healthcare Market, From Disease Mongering to Doctor Shopping, a reference to the commercialization of diseases and doctors who sell health. The article was published in the Brazilian Journal of Family and Community Medicine. This idea draws an analogy between phenomena observed in the healthcare market and the functioning of a food chain, with different agents and practices interconnected to drive the consumption, sometimes excessive and unnecessary, of healthcare services. Do you know anyone who is constantly undergoing consultations or undergoing tests? Well, it really does seem that in some cases, healthcare has become a business. I will comment on this article and together we will explore its main points, explaining everything from the commercialization of diseases to doctors who sell health and its consequences for patients, doctors, and society as a whole. And to start, what is disease mongering? The term disease mongering can be translated as commercialization of disease, commodification of disease, or incentive to disease. This phenomenon consists of creating or exaggerating health concerns that make people, even healthy ones, believe they are at risk of serious, severe diseases, and therefore seek medical care. Often, these fear campaigns are fueled by companies interested in selling medicines or health services. This occurs, for example, when a normal condition of the human body is labeled as a disease, as in the case of mild anxiety, natural aging, or small changes in laboratory tests. Disease mongering is highly profitable for the pharmaceutical and medical device industries, which promote medicines or treatments for conditions that may not even require medical intervention. Furthermore, healthcare professionals, often without realizing it, can be influenced by these campaigns, broadening the scope of what is considered a medical condition, and this encourages a culture of unnecessary medicalization. Now for another term: selling sickness, selling diseases. Selling diseases is directly related to sickness mongering. This term describes the process of selling the idea of illness, convincing people that normal conditions or natural variations of the body are, in fact, pathological diseases and require treatment. An example of this is the overdiagnosis of conditions such as mild hypertension, osteopenia, a slightly below normal level of bone density, or erectile dysfunction in otherwise healthy men. With the help of media and advertising, normal symptoms of aging or natural variations between individuals are presented as medical problems that require intervention. The connection between selling sickness and sickness mongering is clear. Fear campaigns promote an increase in unnecessary diagnoses, and consequently, more medical products and services are offered. The line between health and illness is being blurred, and more people are seeking medical help for conditions that may not require treatment or intervention, creating a cycle of unnecessary consumption of healthcare resources. Doctor shopping, the never-ending search for diagnoses. The phenomenon of doctor shopping, doctor as a boutique, is another link in this chain. This term refers to the behavior of patients who visit multiple healthcare professionals, often seeking second, third, or even fourth opinions, in search of a diagnosis or treatment that meets their expectations, even if it is not compatible with reality. Originally, this behavior was more common in patients seeking prescriptions for controlled medications, such as opioids for pain. However, in the current context of exacerbated medicalization, doctor shopping also involves people who believe they are ill and therefore seek multiple opinions to confirm their fears. These are people who only see different doctors because they cannot have just one doctor who would be the great manager of their health care. These people also constantly undergo tests that do not help in monitoring their health, and on the contrary, they get in the way more. This behavior results in an increase in the number of unnecessary medical appointments, as well as in more complementary exams, which are also unnecessary. These exams, in turn, can produce false positives or reveal small changes without clinical importance, which leads to new cycles of appointments and procedures, perpetuating the harmful cycle of consumption. But how are these phenomena connected? The concepts of disease-mongering, selling sickness, and doctor shopping form an interconnected chain in the health market. The commercialization of disease creates fear of illness, causing people to seek medical services, even without solid evidence that something is wrong. Selling illnesses transforms these concerns into formal diagnoses, feeding the market for unnecessary medications and interventions. Finally, the doctor as a health store increases this consumption, with patients constantly seeking new opinions and treatments, often also unnecessary. This sequence of events is compared by the author to a food chain in the health market, where different agents benefit from the increased consumption of medical products and services. The problem is that this chain harms people's well-being by increasing anxiety and dependence on medical interventions without actually improving health. And in this context, what is the role of the family doctor and the prevention of these excesses that cause harm, called quaternary prevention? The author of the article that references this video highlights the role of the family and community doctor in this scenario. By the way, do you have a family doctor who acts as your health manager? The one who takes care of most of your problems and, when necessary, refers you to specialists? Well, the family doctor, who is a specialist, who also completed a medical residency, as a professional who closely monitors patients, is often the first to deal with these issues. By the way, I am a family physician. I did my residency in family and community medicine, then my master's degree. We, MFCs, are described as defense lawyers when it comes to patients' health issues. We, MFCs, have a duty to protect our patients from excessive and useless interventions. This is where the concept of quaternary prevention comes in, a strategy that aims to avoid the excessive use of unnecessary medical procedures, focusing on a more balanced and patient-centered approach. Quaternary prevention is essential to prevent patients from falling victim to this chain of overconsumption of health services. It is an approach that seeks to protect people from the risks associated with excessive tests, diagnoses, and treatments. This involves a careful assessment of what is really necessary to promote the health and well-being of the patient, without falling into the trap of unbridled medicalization. The food chain in the health market is a complex cycle that involves fear of disease, the expansion of diagnoses, and the unbridled consumption of medicines, equipment, and medical services. Anything that promotes excessive medicalization puts patients in a cycle of often unnecessary consumption. The role of the family doctor is essential to break this cycle, promoting quaternary prevention and defending the interests of patients. At the same time, it is essential that both health professionals and patients, that is, you who are seeing and listening to me, are aware of the dangers of this food chain and seek a more balanced and person-centered approach. So once again the question, do you have a general practitioner, a family doctor who is your reference for your health issues, or do you seek a different professional every time you feel something? These isolated interventions do not allow the doctor to get to know you in depth, and this is associated with unnecessary interventions that may not contribute to your health or, worse, may cause some harm. Having a reference doctor, one who can establish a general reasoning about your health, is great. So I suggest that you have a general practitioner or family doctor as your reference. The article I used for this content is here in the description area. Remember, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, share this video with your network of contacts, especially those people who are constantly undergoing tests and consulting different doctors.